CGB, buddy. Are you ready for the waifu video?
This isn't the waifu video, is it?
You're correct. It is not. I have to keep teasing you and the audience with this every single time. Although the audience will have the thumbnail, so they'll know it's not the waifu video. But in any case, you're going to love today because I think this is actually recommended by the viewers. This might be the deck that sells you on playing Yu-Gi-Oh! If you can believe that. I know you already like Sky Striker. I think this is more your speed, and you'll see why as we get to it.
I feel like I've heard this before. I feel like we've
never
been
heard.
here before.
I've never said such a thing before. Never. All right. So as always, we're going to show you some cards. Your goal is to guess if they ever got banned. Actually, you know what? I'm going to actually help you out with this one. Only one card in all the cards I'm going to show you got hit in any capacity. So I'm going to make your objective very simple today. Your goal is to figure out which card they hit in this deck. Sound good?
Yeah, one card.
One card out of...
I find one card.
15. Sure, this will go well. Anyway, here's your first one.
15. Okay, it's like the golden snitch. If I find the golden snitch, I win
Correct,
the game.
Exactly.
Is that what
That's
you're telling me?
exactly how it works.
Okay, one card. All right. Easy. I'm the one in best of one. Finding one card is right in my wheelhouse. Runick Tip. Spell. Activate one of these effects, but skip your next battle phase after activation. Love it already. Who needs a battle phase?
Just
Add
wait.
one runic card from your deck to your hand. Accept this. Then banish the top card of your opponent's deck. Interesting. Special summon one runic monster from your extra deck to the extra monster zone. You can only activate one of this per turn. Okay.
What do you think?
Is it called Runick? Is it the
Runick
Runick
is the
deck?
archetype, yes. All the cards are going to have
Okay.
Runick in the name. So and this card can search any of the cards you will see, except the ones obviously in the extra deck because they're not in the main deck. But Runick Tip can also special summon those monsters. So you have access to anything in the main deck or anything in the extra deck.
Yeah. At the cost of a battle phase.
At the cost of a battle phase. And you know what? Let's go ahead. I'm going to show you a monster that you can pull off of this. So here's your second card.
I bet it like removes something. Let's see. No, wait. I bet it finds something else.
Interesting.
That's what it does.
Interesting. Okay.
That
You might be shocked.
Is this Hugin?
Hugin.
Hugin?
Hugin.
Hugin.
People pronounce it different ways. I go with Hugin.
0 attack, 0 defense. This is going really well. Because why would we need
Why do we
either
need
of
to
those things
attack?
if we had a
Why do we
battle
need to
phase?
attack?
So this is fusion, and you need 2 runic monsters.
Well,
and
keep in
if
mind,
this
the
card...
Runick Tip just immediately summons this. So you don't even have to worry about the actual summoning condition for this card.
Oh, yeah. Why read cost?
Yeah, why read
We don't
cost?
have those.
Yeah.
If this card is special summoned from the extra deck, you can discard one card, add one runic field spell from your deck to your hand. You can discard one card and add one runic field spell from your deck to your hand.
We'll get to the field spell shortly.
Can't wait. I bet it doesn't let anything ever attack. That would be great. If another card you control would be destroyed by card effects, you can banish this card you control instead. Okay, so it's like in Magic, we called this a flag bearer back in the day. Like it dies so something else doesn't. If this card on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect, return this card to the extra deck. Wait. So you can go get it again?
Uh-huh.
You just summon it again? So it just makes things like never die? And you just keep, okay.
Okay.
Sure.
So what do you think about Hugin and Tip so far?
The freaking Yu-Gi-Oh, dude. All you want to do is search for the thing that does the thing that does the thing again to make the thing do the thing again and again.
We love redundancy. Now, to be fair, that's one of the reasons why people love Yu-Gi-Oh so much is that there's so much consistency that your deck, when you construct it, most of the time will typically do what it wants to do. And so at that point, it becomes your opponent's deck versus your deck in terms of like they both do the thing that they want to do. Who can like play through it better, essentially. And so that's why people like our game.
All right, I might start a rant before we even get any further, but I have to say, Simo, how long have you played this game?
My whole life, unfortunately. Actually, no, I took a hiatus, but most of my life.
Nearly your whole life. When does it stop being fun to do the thing again? Does it ever stop?
We have so much interaction. There's so much interaction.
So it's never the same because the opponent interacts in a different way?
Kind of, actually.
Like it feels so goldfishy. I don't know. It feels like solitaire. I know there's always the one dude on your plane, the one dude at the waiting room at the DMV, the one dude in the hospital who's playing solitaire, and he's probably 90 years old, and he's probably played 9 million games of solitaire. I know that's a human being that exists, but this just seems like that. How is this still popular?
You have to remember with hand traps, right? If your opponent has different hand traps to like disrupt your plays, like then you have to react accordingly, and different hand traps stop different parts of like combos, right? So you have to figure out how to adapt in those situations. And I think that's why people find it fun in that regard. Anyway, you can rant aside, you can keep ranting later. Here's your next card.
Why is there a freaking gun on this card? What is going on? Why are we playing Doom in our game?
It's like
what is
this?
this?
It's like a first person like role playing type thing. So it's like you're looking at a first person perspective. They've never done that before.
Dude, I want the music. I want like Doom or Call of Duty music going on. Yeah, here we go. Runick Flashing Fire is a spell. Is a continuous spell? Is that what that means?
This is a quick play. The lightning bolt means it's like
this is a quick play.
Yeah.
Is that a lightning bolt? That's
what they call a lightning bolt. Yeah, sure.
Activate one of these effects, but skip your next battle phase. Good. We're never doing that. Target one special summon monster your opponent controls. Destroy it, then banish the top 2 cards of their deck. Oh, dude, are we a mill deck?
Maybe.
Maybe. Are we just? Oh my God, we're ruining their deck. Oh, okay.
Not to mention, this isn't just a mill deck. You're banishing them or exiling them. So it's not even like they're going to the graveyard.
Dude. Yu-Gi-Oh players hate this, don't they?
We told you. I told you would like this deck. I think we figured out how to sell you.
Where's their consistency now? We're banishing their cards. Okay. Special summon one runic monster from your extra deck to the extra monster zone. You can only activate one of this per turn.
I'll help you out. The second effect is always going to be special summon a runic monster from your extra deck on most of these cards. So you can just like omit that if you want for brevity.
So here we have removal / win con, or just tutor another thing for free.
Yep.
Because you're never going to battle. I can't believe this.
Or you're like, this is the greatest mill deck in Magic history.
It is!
Oh, just wait. We haven't even gotten to the good cards yet.
You guys keep finding a way to make free even freer, and it's so stupid. Okay. All right.
So any thoughts?
Right.
Do you think any of these cards are the ones that got hit so far? Or do you think these are all fine?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I can't tell what, like... I think this is already enraging. It's already so many things that I find obnoxious. And at the same time, it's the things that I would want to do to somebody and say, you get what you deserve with your all tutor deck. Banishing the right card at the right time is brilliant. Is this a card that got hit? What is the card? You showed it to me in a video a while ago, and I'm never going to come up with the name. For those who don't know, I just came back from a vacation.
What does it do? I can tell you.
It was like kind of like a fusion creature that just tied the whole deck together. Every time.
Is this Tear Element, or is this a different deck altogether?
This was a different deck.
Okay.
It was a couple videos ago. But the card that got banned out of the whole thing you showed me was the thing that tied it all together. Hugin is giving me some of that vibe, but it doesn't seem as broken, because I think that one tutored both when it entered and when it died or something, or it brought itself back. It is just some little anime dude, some little anime boy. I think it was a boy. It was just like big old smile, like just it was like a level 3. Anyway, whatever. They know in the comments. Leave me the comment.
I was gonna say
you know
the comments might have
about.
to figure this one out.
Somebody's on my level.
Sure,
anyway.
someone will figure it out. They'll tag it. So you think these are fine?
Hugin might be the thing that ties things together. Runick Tip is bolt. This card, if you had showed it to me like years ago, and by that I mean videos ago, I would have probably said that's bannable, and now I'm very much just like, that's Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yep.
That's fine.
Okay.
So
right.
I'm not
We'll
gonna
get into it at
call
the
out
end.
the tip yet.
We'll get it out to the end.
Okay.
All right, here's your next one.
Runick Destruction. I'll just stop reading the word runic even. This is destruction. Activate one of these. Skip the next battle phase. Doesn't sound like I need to read that anymore. Target one spell trap your opponent controls and destroy it, and then banish the top 4. Okay. Okay. We got it all, baby. We've got it all. And we tutor this up too?
Runick Tip. You search any Runick card. Yep.
Oh my gosh. It's not a field spell though. So
no,
you
all
don't
these are
get
quick
it with
spells.
Hugin.
There's only one field spell, and I think that's towards
very
the end.
important.
Yeah.
Yeah, that probably means Hugin isn't quite as good as the other card.
You'll see when you read the field spell, because I have a feeling.
We'll
I have a
see.
feeling. I have a feeling. Everyone's in the comments looking at me right now. I have a feeling that he's gonna very much love the field spell, but we'll get into that later.
Okay.
So far we have a tutor.
Yep.
We have a tutor. We have a monster destruction, and we have a spell trap destruction.
Nice. Banish top 4, by the way.
Yeah, banish
Oh
top
my
4.
goodness.
That is not something
Let's go.
to that's not something to overlook as well, considering we only have 40 card decks, and if you draw 5 per turn, you're at 35 already. So something to consider.
That's the happy, like mill 4 in Magic is considerable, and that is a 60 card deck. So
here's your next
let's
one.
go. Runick Dispelling. If your opponent adds a card from their deck to their hand, except during the draw phase, discard one random card from their hand, then banish the top 2 cards of their deck. If they add cards from their deck to their hand, so all this tutoring stuff.
Which, as you know by this point, Yu-Gi-Oh is very fond of.
But it's not very likely that they add multiple cards to their hand at the same time, because card draw is much less of a thing.
In terms of card draw, yes, but in terms of tutoring stuff, that's obviously very common, as you come to learn.
Tutoring stuff is, but this only, if I understand the way that the Yu-Gi-Oh stack works, it's very the chain, you say. Like this would only hit one of those tutored things. It doesn't sound like it's normal. It sounds like it's normal to tutor multiple times a turn. It doesn't sound normal to tutor 2 or 3 things in one instance, which would cause them to discard multiple random cards. Am I... you know what I mean?
So basically, even if they added multiple in one instance, which there are some cards that can do that. There might be a card that says, you activate it, discard a card, add 2 of these from your deck to your hand, like depending on the circumstances. But so then after that resolution, you would activate Runick Dispelling, and then they would have to discard 1 random card from their hand and then banish the top 2. So it wouldn't go on the stack. You would do it after the resolution of the effect that adds something to hand if you want.
And now I'm going to be an idiot because I take a week off and I forget everything. This is a quick play spell card.
Every spell I'm showing you is a quick play except for the field spell, which is at the end.
It doesn't
Actually, no.
stay on the field.
No, it's an instant speed spell. Correct.
You play it, you make them discard 1 random card and banish the top 2 of their deck, and then this card goes to the graveyard.
Correct. Yep.
So it doesn't even sit on the field to keep disrupting them.
All of these so far that you've seen are one-time use. Yes.
I know you guys hate people messing with your hand, and random discard can be brutal.
Well, this discard versus hand knowledge, I think, are 2 different things. I will say, yes, you're not completely wrong that we also don't like discard, but you don't get to see their hand and like pick the card or anything. So I think that makes a big difference.
I don't know. Am I crazy? This one doesn't seem as good.
That's fair.
Because like hitting the random card might be very much not what you want.
It also
like
discards it to the graveyard. It doesn't banish it.
Yeah, the floor is much lower.
Okay. I think that's a fair assessment.
I think it's fine to fill in the deck
Sure.
if you need a critical mass of banishing the top 2 cards of the deck. This isn't the worst card I've seen, but it doesn't seem nearly as good as the other 2.
You could also consider, too, that it's more redundant of copies of Special Summon a Runick Monster from the extra deck as well. So there is, like, that other angle to consider.
Sure.
Like, so maybe you don't play it for the mill part. You only want to play it for the Special Summon part, which there are other things to summon, which I'll show you later. So that's another angle just to consider as you're evaluating these cards. But I think you're pretty on point that this is less useful compared to the other ones. Okay, let's go to the next one.
Freezing Curses.
This one also looks like Doom.
It really does. It's kind of weird. Like, there's like a special lore specifically for this deck. Like it goes for a whole new vibe, and it's really funny because you're skipping all your battle phases, but you get this first person look at going into all these fights, but you're just not fighting. Like really, we should be in our little guarded padded fortress tower.
Yeah.
just firing a sniper rifle. All right. Activate one of these effects. Yeah. Same thing. Okay. Target one effect monster your opponent controls, negate its effects, then banish the top 3 of the deck. Yep. Okay. Now we're stopping it's like a hand trap, but not, right?
Yeah.
Is that kind of what this
I mean,
is?
it's like because you would set it face down for a turn, and then you can use it at instant speed, just like a trap card during your opponent's turn.
God, you're setting all these face down too. So you're very much just like, I set, pass.
Yeah. So what do you think about this one?
It's only until the end of this turn. But it does seem necessary the way, I mean, the things, it does seem to negate all of its effects.
Yep.
Which I'm seeing monsters with a lot of effects in your game.
Yep.
Like, I like the idea of taking a whole paragraph of text out of the wheelhouse of your opponent. It almost feels like you're fighting a battle of words, and who has less words they can actually use.
It's interesting because there are some effects that only activate on summon, like your enter the battlefield effect. So like if you freezing curses that, they're not going to get to do that again on the next turn, compared to it being like an effect they can use like at ignition speed multiple times in a turn. So there are some instances where even though it's until the end of the turn, that's enough to basically make that monster into a vanilla that does nothing. So that is something to consider.
Magic has this card called Dress Down. It's an enchantment with flash, so you can play it any time. It's 1 in a blue enchantment, and when it enters, you draw a card, which you'd love. And Dress Down reads that all creatures like have no abilities.
Oh wow, all creatures. Wow. Okay.
So it like takes the text boxes of the creatures on the field, but if there's a creature on the stack that's entering the field, it doesn't do the thing that it would enter and do. So yeah, that card is surprisingly good. It was never standard legal. It's from one of those Masters sets that went straight to Modern, and people love it. Or they hate it, rather. One of the two. It's such a good card.
Okay.
That's what it reminds me of.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think that's a fair analogy. Here's your next one.
Runick Slumber. Activate. Yep. Nothing new except this middle bit. Target one face-up monster on the field. The next time that monster would be destroyed by battle or card effects this turn, it is not destroyed. Also, it cannot attack. And then banish the top 3 cards of the deck. Interesting. Target one face-up monster. Next time that monster would be destroyed by battle or card effects. Why would you want to keep it from being destroyed? It can be your own thing. It can be your own thing. And it banishes the top 3 of the opponent's deck either way. Not your deck. Okay. And you don't want it to attack because you never have a battle phase. So this protects your own thing that you want to protect, or it can keep an opponent's thing from attacking. So it plays offense and defense. It's a two-way threat.
And has the mobile
cool.
utility of being able to get around a Runick monster from the extra deck if you don't want to use that burst effect.
Yep. All right. I'm going to recap really quick. 3 copies of each card are legal.
That's correct.
Is that right? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 21, 24, 27, 33, 36. All right, we've banished their whole deck.
Trying to do math there.
Just keeping track. Yeah, just keeping track. Number-wise, we've banished absolutely everything. We're great. Everything's great. This is fine. Oh, good. Oh, good. I can't wait to see what the extra deck does in this scenario.
Just wait. We haven't even gotten to the best parts yet. What do you think about Slumber for now?
It puts off the problem, but in the decks like this, that can be enough. 3 cards is not 2, but it's also not 4. It's like right in the middle where you want to be. And of course, we're still waiting to see our monster from the extra deck that, that really makes all these things extra utility, because they can all be that instead. But the main ability, it can work in 2 different ways, and it does what you want it to do.
Yeah, it's a neat card.
It's
a neat card. So if any of these
more
screamed,
redundancy that keeps you alive.
need to get hit yet? Or are you still in the camp that these all seem fine?
I hate it when you say that.
I'm just asking.
I have to go back to the top and be like, dude, the Runick Tip thing is just immediately, I'm so like, what the hell? But there you go. Hugin doesn't seem that good because I haven't seen the field spell, so I can't
You'll
judge.
get to the field spell,
And then,
don't worry.
individually, looking at these cards, do I see the busted thing yet? I think if it's going to be one of these Runick spells, it has to be something that is used in a less intuitive way. So I need a monster that when you combine with one of these spells does something extra broken.
Okay.
I don't think on their own they are a problem.
Okay.
I'm not there yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Just asking. Just for the audience sake, I'm asking. No worries. All right. Here's your next card.
Golden Droplet. We have another spell. We have some happy waifus.
Maybe you should have saved this for the waifu video on the top left, you know?
Hello. Who's this? So what we got here? Your opponent draws one card and then you banish the top 4 of their deck. They draw a card? Mm-hmm. Are you going to the Crim School of Mill? I don't know if you
I'm not familiar, but you know, that is technically a form of, it's like you milled them 5 cards in a way. I'm just saying.
Ah, man. It's just every time like you're playing a game with Crim and he's playing a mill deck and you draw a card, he's just like, oh, that's fine. That's a mill for 1.
Exactly.
I like that.
That is a mill for
like
1.
Every
Precisely.
time. Yeah. Yep, that's how he looks at it. And it's hard because I get so jealous of card draw and he gets so happy.
Don't worry, we're getting there. We're getting there. You're almost there.
We haven't seen ways to tutor up these spell cards, right?
Yes, you have.
Am I crazy?
Runick Tip.
The tip does. Okay. So putting it all together, if there are enough of these things that banish 4 cards or even hell, heaven forbid, goes higher than that, you could do what's called turbo mill, right? You could just try to go to the dome and try to get rid of their whole deck as fast as possible, make their deck unfunctional, or leave them in a spot where they can't win the game that way, right? You can make that play if there's enough of this effect. And then you don't care that they drew the card.
Goes higher than 4, huh? Interesting. Read this card.
The other thing I was going to say is you can just run one of these and tutor it when they're at 5 cards.
You could.
You know?
Yep, you could.
And just end them. So that's
or
what
you
I'm
tutor
seeing
the other
for
card
the
that I just
golden
sent you.
droplet. I'm scared. It's a hammer. It's Runick Smiting Storm. I love the skeletons in the tornado vibe. It's a Skullnado, guys.
Skullnado.
Actual magic card, Skullnado.
Oh, really?
It's a commander card,
funny.
yeah. Activate one of these effects. Yep. All these things. Banish cards from the top of your opponent's deck up to the number of cards they control.
You said more than 4.
Up to the number of cards they control.
So for context, there are 5 monster zones. There is an extra monster zone. There are 5 spell and trap zones, and there is a field spell zone. So there are possibly the most you could get off of this is 12.
Wow.
That is if they're occupying every zone, mind you. So, like, that's never going to happen.
True, and I bet they try to play around it to the best of their ability against this deck, which is probably its own kind of annoying experience. It's tough because if you only have one monster and it gets hit by the thing that says it can't attack, then you give up another turn and every turn gets worse because all these are once per turn, but it's like the cumulative effect, right? It just keeps going up. So you need to commit to the board. You need to try to kill them when you actually get to attack them. You need to play your stuff. And then this hits you with the hammer.
That hits you with the hammer. Hits you with the hammer.
Oh, God. Oh, God. And of course, if they do try to play around it, you just go special summon something. I'm not sure what, but I'm sure it'll be great. Okay. This is nice. I mean, either as a one of two, it's the same card. It's the same theory. It's either you have a critical mass of these effects and you run all of this and just hit him, or you just run one and tutor it up when the opponent does go to the board. Because just one in the deck is the same as having like 3 in the sense of a threat. It's because you have access to these things. So the opponent always has to play around one of these, just like they would with 3 of these. I bet 1 is more often the right call. Oh my God. So annoying.
Speaking of annoying, here's our first continuous spell.
Runick Allure, the one that you get. Each time a quick play spell card activates, banish the top card of their deck. Great.
I told you would like this deck. I told you.
Oh my God. Oh, that's sweet. Okay, so your whole deck is quick play spells except for this field spell.
This is a continuous spell, not a field spell.
Of course. How could I forget? All right, so I haven't seen a tutor for this.
Runick Tip can tutor this.
Runick Tip's starting to get banned at this point.
Okay.
All right. So right now, Runick Tip gets literally every card you've shown me, and I still haven't seen the field spell.
Which you'll see next.
Hugin is going to get. Okay, show me that.
If I haven't sold you on this deck yet, wait till you read this card.
Runick Fountain.
So this is a field spell.
Okay. You can activate Runick quick play spell cards from your hand during your opponent's turn.
So you don't even have to set them. You can just activate them like instants.
I totally knew the whole time that you had to set your spell cards.
Yeah.
Of course. I mean, Magic, we don't set our spell cards ever. So, yeah.
To be fair, in Yu-Gi-Oh, you're only setting your quick play spells because they basically function like trap cards. So
this just means I get to play Magic in Yu-Gi-Oh.
Literally, that's why he would like this deck.
Omniscience lets you play Yu-Gi-Oh and Magic.
Buddy,
this lets me play Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh.
You haven't even read the best part of this card. Keep going.
Okay, once per turn, if you activate a quick spell card, you can target up to 3 Runick quick play spells in your graveyard. Place them on the bottom of your deck in any order, then draw the same number of cards. This is the thing you can search for?
Yep.
This is the continue, and this lasts. They gotta get
rid
of this.
They gotta get rid of it. So Runick Tip can search this, and notably Hugin can also search this, which means every Runick spell, every Runick spell can search this because you can just special summon Hugin and search the fountain. Did we get him, folks? Did we get him?
Your opening hand can just be like, search up the Hugin. The Hugin gets the this. You play the this. And then if you have one quick play spell, you're off to the races.
Yep.
If you activate a quick play spell card, you can target up to 3 in your graveyard. So if you play one from your hand,
okay,
can you target the one you played from your hand? Does it go to the graveyard and then you can target it right away? Or do you need different ones in the graveyard to use that ability?
So you need to have different ones because this would go on the stack. So essentially you would activate your Runick card, and then it says when you activate a Runick quick play spell, as Chain Link 2, Fountain would go on top of that. And so you can't shuffle back the card you're activating in that moment because it's not in the graveyard. You would have to have 3 other ones to shuffle back at maximum, of course.
But if you wanted to just get this going and start trading every quick play spell as a 1-for-1, you need 2 quick play spells, 1 to play and 1 that
a minimum 1 in the graveyard. Yes.
Let me see. How many spells have you shown me that meet this requirement?
Go ahead and take a look.
Yeah.
How many?
30 some.
Yeah,
like yeah, like 30 cards in your deck. And then you just draw your deck. Like a bunch of them are once per turn. That's the guardrail.
That's the guardrail.
Is that each one is once per turn? Oh my god. And you can play them on either turn, right?
Correct.
Dude, you can be drawing 3 cards on my turn and 3 cards on your turn.
Correct.
And 3 cards on my turn.
Correct.
Simo, what are we doing? Simo, what is this deck? How did this happen?
We told you you'd like it.
My God.
We told you we'd like it.
And you mill the do you even need the allure? It seems like a turbo card. You know, it's like, do we even need to be turbo? We're just out drawing everything and killing everything. And nothing ever attacks.
Yep.
Oh my God.
It's the blue player's dream.
Oh my God. Okay. This card, this fountain card. Let's talk. You are designing a Yu-Gi-Oh card. Would this card be playable if it didn't draw any cards? If it just is this ability alone playable in Yu-Gi-Oh? Yeah, if it just stopped after you can play stuff on your opponent's turn. Like, I can see that as a Magic card. It seems like a pretty for a Yu-Gi-Oh card because you're down a card, right? Maybe it would still even see play in this deck. Okay, if it drew 1 card, if the most you could do was draw 1 card with this, I think it's already a card. I think it's good.
Okay.
You're fine.
Okay.
I think you're already there. 3 cards?
3 cards on each turn.
They added Pot of Greed to it and said more? They were scared this deck sucked or something. They were like, our Runick deck can't possibly flop. We need something that puts it way over the edge. And if there's a problem, we'll just ban that 1 card. They were like, we're gonna put this synergistic package together, but we're scared it's not enough, and we're just gonna put all the power in 1 freaking card. Like, what the hell are we doing?
Playing Yu-Gi-Oh, buddy.
Oh my God. Okay. There's definitely there's more, right?
There is more. At this point, I just have to show you the extra deck monsters. You've seen all the Runick spells. So I saved the best for last on the spells, but you saw Hugin. So you know Hugin not only searches the field spell, but also can protect the field spell. So if they try to destroy it, you just tribute off the Hugin instead. Or banish it.
Unbelievable.
Okay.
Unbelievable.
Okay.
What a great thing to have on a card.
Here's your next one.
What the heck? You got some kind of a little hawk boy here? What's going on? Munin, the Runick Wings. Fairy fusion effect, 2 Runick monsters, but who cares?
Matter.
Defense is 2000. I love the synergy of attack 0. Like, they could give it attack 100. They want to make it really obvious that it goes in this deck. Anyway, if this card is special summoned from the extra deck, you can discard 1 card. Like, I don't know, one of these quick play spells that's probably not super relevant that you're just going to use later to draw 3 cards. You can add 1 Runick continuous spell from your deck to your hand.
So the only target for this is the Allure, because it's the only continuous spell. So it's the one that gets the extra mill on top of every card.
Sure, that makes sense why you would put that card in the deck now. Because like I was saying, now that just looks like extra gravy. Like, it looks extra turbo. But if you're going to tutor it up potentially anyway, you may as well. It's just free value in a way. When your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a Runick card or cards you control, or a set cards you control, you can quick effect banish this card you control, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. Once per turn during the end phase, gain 1,000 life points. Why? Why?
Because you're you're a mill deck. You need to make sure you don't die. You need the life points.
Again, it's like they need every card to just scream at you, hey, this deck, we built this deck in this set. Have you seen this card that is perfect in that deck? Not only does it have 0 attack because you're never attacking, it gains life points because why not? That's what that deck needed. More ways to not die.
In defense of that, I believe these cards were initially released in what we call a deck building set. And what those are is it is a set that contains 3 separate archetypes. And so the idea is that you can almost self-contained build the deck just from like buying packs of this set, because most of the cards you need are probably in that set.
You're a good dude, Cimo, defending Konami. Trust me, you don't need to.
Don't tell the comments that I'm doing that.
they all comments understand. They understand. You're being a good guy. They don't need your defense. All right. We all come here to dunk on the games we love, right?
Of course.
That's why we YouTube. Okay, sweet. Glad we got that out of the way. This card is, oh my goodness. I mean, it fits in the deck like a glove. Just like an absolute glove. It gives you a reason to run that 1 continuous spell, which I thought might even be extra. So now why not? Why not just have
right?
Extra
Because if you
that
already
can tune
have,
up when you want it?
If you already have the fountain, let's say, then you can just summon Munin and get the allure that you wouldn't have had otherwise, or vice versa, right? If you already have the allure, you can then use Hugin to search the field spell. So you can kind of get both pieces online if you want to.
And all of these spell cards, these quick play spell cards, are situational in a way. Yes, they can also tutor, but there are some that are always going to be worse than others in your deck because you have such a redundancy of the effect that you want some of them in the graveyard, just so you can start ripping more with the fountain.
Yep, so the fact that it discards just helps the fountain refueling. But
yeah.
Here's your next one.
Card's perfect. Geary the Runick Fangs, a level 4 0 attack, 1000 defense. It would kill him to have a 100 to have any attack.
I'll let you know
deck.
one of them actually does have attack. Actually, I think 2 of them.
Oh, do. Get it out of there! That's that's what got banned. That was the mistake.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see.
Anyway, cannot be destroyed by card effects. That's a Nambo, by the way, with all the protection cards in here. Don't need
just to make sure, just to make sure.
If this card is special summoned from the extra deck, you can target 1 non-quick play Runick spell card in your graveyard, add it to your hand. When this card is destroyed by battle, you can target 1 card on the field and destroy it. Okay, easy. You just use this to go get the continuous spell or the field spell. If by some miracle at this point, we're like, if they played the Runick spell that made them discard it at random, if by some miracle they hit the lottery and actually kill one of these cards, you just get it back.
Yep. You need recovery, right?
Solitaire, dude. We're playing solitaire. We're just out playing solitaire, baby. 90 years old, same game, 10 billion hours logged. Just doing it again. Why not?
All right. You said you wanted one with attack points. Here you go.
0 defense. Great. Fairiki the Runick Fangs is level 5. When an attack is declared involving this card in the extra monster zone. What does that mean?
So for instance, so remember, there's only one extra monster zone you can occupy, right? Those 2 zones in the top between the 2 players. So it has to be there for you to use this effect while it's attacking. If it's in the main monster zone, I don't know how the fuck you would get it there. But if it was in the main monster zone, then it wouldn't be able to use this effect.
And and when it's the word that's like blowing my mind is involving this card. What we're saying is if this is in the extra monster zone and it attacks.
Yeah, I don't know why they worded it that way, but it's also Konami, so whatever.
It's very strange.
Yeah.
Okay. Because it also sounds like it would trigger when somebody attacked through this card because their attack involved this.
Yeah, it might be the way it's worded if they attack you as well, because it says when attack is declared involving this card. That doesn't. So I think if they attack it, you also mill too. Yeah. So maybe that's why it's worded that way.
No. I understand why nobody knows how this works because nobody has ever attacked with this card.
I mean, you're not wrong. So I'm not, because again, you never get a battle phase with this deck. So, to be fair, who's ever read that part of the effect?
All right. You can banish the top 2 cards of your opponent's deck. Awesome. Neither player takes any battle damage from attacks involving this card. That's great. If this card on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target one quick play spell in your graveyard, add it to your hand.
Tutors for tutors.
You can only use this effect once per turn. Oh my god. Oh my god.
See, it's funny because simultaneously, I feel like you love this, but you're also like cringing at the fact that this even exists.
Yes. That's exactly it. Why are we okay? I both love it. I love shining a light on the true degeneracy that I've kind of committed my life to.
You know?
No,
I would never.
Yes,
think that.
I see myself and I see the absolute monster I've become, and I have to I roll my eyes at many things. I also roll my eyes at myself. At least I'm fair.
Nice and balanced.
I think it's so funny that it has a 2000 attack, and then they say you can't take any damage.
Yep.
Just make it 0 and don't have that line of text.
Yep.
What are we doing? Okay.
Or you just have it that you can attack with the 0 attack monster, since you don't take battle damage anyway, right? What's it matter?
What's it matter? Nothing matters. Just it's you know what? The damage is not the attack or defense. The damage is their deck. Their life total is
life total is irrelevant.
Is it 40? 30?
8,000.
It's 40, right? No, it's 40, right?
Yeah, it's 40. It's 40. Yeah.
It's 40. Yeah. Their life total is 40, and this does 2. So there's that. Okay. Is there more?
This is your last card, and then you have to come to your decision, and then I will give you my big spiel at the end.
Sleep near?
Sure.
Sleep near?
Sure.
The Runick mane. Because it's a horse. It took me a while. There is a horse back there. It looks like it has about 8 legs. That sound right?
Yeah, I would say so.
Oh my god. This is another one of those cards where looking at your digital image of it makes my eyes just miserable.
You can blame the fact there's not a good printing of this card for the scanner. So this is what we got.
Wow. So this is a level 9, if I'm counting correctly.
Correct. Yep.
This has an attack and a defense. Ban it. Get it out of here. Wrong deck. During your main phase or your opponent's battle phase, the quick effect is you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls and banish both that monster and this card until the end phase. If a card or cards is added from the main deck to your opponent's hand, except during the damage step, you can special summon one Runick token, which is a fairy light level 4 attack 1500, defense 1500 in attack position. You can only use each effect of this once per turn. Why is this? Okay. Why this? You know, I got used to a certain way of life, Simo, where you just handed me cards that were called Runick XYZ, and it was fucking obvious why they were in the deck. So let's try to figure this one out. Does it mill things? No. Does it has an attack and defense? Weird. Does it make you skip your battle phase? Not exactly. It makes tokens. Why are those good? What's going on? Okay, I'm gonna look at
To help you out a little bit, this card was released in a later set as support, so it was not released like with a lot of the original cards that I just showed you. I think all the other cards I showed you, for the most part, I want to say aside from Freki, which is also the other card that you just saw before, the one with attack points. I think both of these were from later sets as like new support for the archetype.
Okay. They were like, yeah, give it a hand. Give this a little more oomph. Okay.
Yeah, a little bit more oomph. Yeah.
Sure.
They needed some things with attack points, right?
During your main phase or their battle phase, target a face-up monster your opponent controls, banish that monster and this card until the end phase, which means then they re-enter.
Correct.
If a card is added from the main deck to your opponent's hand. So it's another way of stopping tutors. So it can be like a hate piece for that.
Yeah, it doesn't really stop them. You just get some value for it.
I guess that's true. You just get another body.
Yeah.
You
get a body for them
probably
getting
don't care. A body that never attacks. They really don't care.
Hey, it can defend you so you don't die. You know, that's important for a mill deck.
Yeah, you're right. I still feel
it comes
like...
in attack position, though, which I find very funny.
What are we doing with that ability, though? I mean, is it just interaction, kinda? Is just something that consistently is there, keeping your opponent's one thing from doing its thing, forcing them to commit more to the board, set up the hammer. Yeah, it's not as on the nose, but that works, right? Like, if you have a card that is just continuously on the board, negating one of their monsters' attack, they need to play more monsters. And then when they have those monsters on the field, you hit them with a Smiting Storm for like 6 or 7 instead of 2 or 3, and that puts you over the edge. Is there something else I'm missing that breaks this card?
See if you can figure it out. I will say it's not super intuitive with what you've seen so far. So I will be surprised if you figure it out. And I'll tell you in the spiel, don't worry.
If a card is added from your main deck, target one. It has to be about, it feels like the banishing part's the important part. But if you add multiple bodies, what does that do for you here?
Like I said, I will be impressed if you figure this out. So don't feel bad if you can't figure it out.
I want to impress you. I live my life to impress YouTube audiences, okay? I want it. I gotta find it. Where is it? No, I don't want to hint.
You don't want to hint? Okay, I was going to give you a little hint.
Dude, we're not even at an hour of yap yet.
Don't worry. The spiel will get us to an hour. Don't worry.
I did not mean to imply I don't believe in your yap. I know very well. I am well aware. But man, I feel like it's right on the tip of my tongue.
The Runick Tip.
I feel like it's right. It's right on the Runick Tip of my tongue, and it's got to be there, man. It's got to be there. There's got to be something that's like you can target phase.
I want to help you. I don't want it. I think I'm close.
Give me just a second. Give me a second. I think I'm close. What was this card? Where was this card?
You can still impress me even if I give you a hint. I'm just saying.
I know, but I want max points.
Max points. You're not getting a point if you get this right. You're only getting a point if you figure out which card they hit.
That's right. There's still a golden snitch and all, but man, I really do want it. I was trying to find like when a monster enters, maybe you banish more stuff or something like that, or something that only happens when a monster enters. I can't do it. I can't find it.
You want the hint?
Okay, give me a hint.
It has nothing to do with the text box.
Jesus Christ. It has nothing to do with this card. There's nothing to do with the text box.
I mean, it's not that it like for the larger purpose of this card, the text box is irrelevant.
So that it's a level 9.
Uh-huh.
What here works with something of that level?
That's why I said it's not easy to intuit based off of what I've showed you. You have to use your greater knowledge.
All right, my greater knowledge. I don't have greater knowledge of this game. I still feel like an absolute moron every time we go into like
I'll just tell you then. I'll just tell you.
Okay.
As I go into my big spiel. Okay. So the Runick archetype. First of all, you have to guess what card you think got hit. Only one of the cards got hit in this archetype, if you can believe that. So which one was it?
And I mean, are we saying banned, or do I not get to know?
No, not necessarily. I said which card got hit. That means it could have gotten banned, it could have gotten limited, it could have gotten semi-limited. So I'm not going to tell you which until the end, but one of them got hit in one of those capacities.
Good God.
In the
Okay.
TCG. In the OCG, it's different, but we always go by TCG. What's the biggest? What gives you the most alarm bells out of everything you've seen?
I mean, the fountain gives me maximum alarm bells.
Okay.
But there is a debate to be had, which is it the fountain or is it the consistent access to the fountain?
I think that's fair.
It does feel like if you restricted it to one, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. It's so hard to kill. You can just get it back. It might be right to play one. It says once per turn, but it's not a hard once per turn. If you have multiples of these, right?
Well, you can only have
use
one. It's a
multiple
field
of these.
spell. So it has a field spell has its
okay.
own zone that you can only have one of at any given time. If you had a second one, it would like replace the first one essentially.
So yeah, does restricting this even do anything? Doesn't feel like it, to be honest. In fact, it might be right to only play one because you can just get it back out of the extra deck. You can search it up. The tip searches the thing that searches the that.
Well, any of your runic spells can tutor for Gary, and then Gary can get back the fountain, hypothetically.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter if there's one or another in your deck. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
I don't know if restricting it matters.
Okay.
Does banning it kill the deck?
That's a good question.
They put out a lot of cards for this deck.
Again, deck building sets typically do that because like they don't run a bunch of like generic stuff. It's like one archetype of like 15 to 20 cards, second archetype of 15 to 20 cards, third archetype of 15 to 20 cards, and like maybe some supplemental cards that incidentally support those archetypes, and that's the whole set. So that's why I showed you so many cards, because like this is all of them.
If this deck doesn't have access to card draw, I don't know that it functions.
Okay.
Because you just run out of stuff.
Okay.
You can answer, but all your opponent has to do is get some value, and then you're dead. That's like the constant control problem in Magic the Gathering too, is you have to get up cards. Without access to card draw, this feels like it might be a dead deck. And the fountain is your card draw. Definitely is.
What else gives you alarm bells, or is that the only one?
Well, now I'm looking at the tip.
Okay.
And I'm like, it's everything. It's just everything. It gets you everything if I'm understanding all these cards correctly.
You're correct. It gets you everything that is not something from the extra deck, which every other runic card... Well, actually, the runic card also gives you stuff from the extra deck, but like you obviously don't search those. You just summon them, so it's a different story.
And I know you guys love redundancy in tutors, but there's got to be a reason why you don't just print a card that says 0 mana, search for any card. Like right? Like there's no real drawback to this within the archetype. It gets you every piece you could possibly need.
Okay.
Does redundancy have its limits in Yu-Gi-Oh, or is this?
That's a great question. That's a great question.
That's a tough one for me, because if you get rid of this, now you're saying you need Hugin, right? You have to somehow get Hugin?
Summon Hugin, which any runic quick play spell can do to get Fountain.
Then that doesn't matter.
Okay.
The tip is everything, but every single runic spell can get a Hugin that gets...
Except Fountain and Allure, yes. But that's basically all of them. Yeah, that's like 8 cards times 3 is 24 if you maxed out on all.
Yeah, so you would have to hit so many things. I mean, if this deck was a problem and it had to get hit, what if you hit the Hugin?
Okay.
It doesn't matter. Like,
at that point, only Runick Tip searches the Fountain, so you lose a lot of redundancy.
You ban Hugin, and that was out of the extra deck, right?
Correct, and Hugin also protects the Fountain on top of it.
Yep. Okay. Now maybe there's a risk to like getting a Fountain or having it on the field. Maybe you do need multiple. Maybe it becomes a different deck building equation without Hugin.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
You know what? I don't care. Like, if you're gonna hit a card, don't try to like dive and dip around it. I think if they were saying this was too good, you got to go at the broken card. I think it has to be the Fountain. And I think if they bandaged it another way to try to make these tutor chains more difficult and tricky and to try to make the Fountain more vulnerable, I think you can try all that.
Okay.
And what that looks like to me is various times in Magic where they had the busted deck with the shiny new card and they tried to ban the things around it to make it okay, and it never was. It was never okay. They always had to come for the card eventually. So if you're telling me only one thing got hit, the one thing that has to be hit is the Fountain. So I'm going to go with
Final answer.
Final answer.
All right, spiel time. So, Runick is a very interesting archetype. One thing you may have missed is that none of these cards preclude you from playing other archetypes in tandem with it. You know, I've shown you some cards that say, you know, you can always special summon monsters of a certain type or anything like that. You have the battle phase restriction, sure, but this is a very open-ended archetype in the fact that you can tie it together with other archetypes to actually make it even more playable in some instances. So for instance, there was a deck called Sprite, which actually relied on level 2 monsters. That was the whole theme. And Hugin happening to be a level 2 monster, and you have like 30 different ways to summon a Hugin. Most of the Sprite cards have the effect that say special summon a level, you can special summon this for free if you control a level 2 monster. So Runick was a great pair for this because, again, you're omitting your battle phase. If you're going first, that doesn't matter. You could summon a Hugin, and then now all of a sudden you can summon all your Sprite monsters because you have a level 2 monster on the field. So that was a natural inclusion in that deck. There's been plenty of other strategies that have also taken advantage of the Runick cards in similar ways. There was Naturia Runick, there's Bestial Runick, there's like so many different Runick variants. Unfortunately, the most popular version of this deck was Runick Stun, or Prison for, you know, all you Magic lovers out there. Basically, the other cards that this deck would play were floodgates that would prevent the opponent from playing the game, because then you don't have to worry about like any of the battle phase restriction. Your main win condition is to just mill them out. And even if you didn't mill them out fast enough, you would just out-resource them with a card like Fountain, because you're always just constantly getting the cards back in your hand. So let's quickly run through all the different cards. Runick Tip was absolutely insane and was played at 3 because it searches anything in the deck. Flashing Fire is also pretty decent. I don't know if you'd play like 3 copies of it necessarily, but the thing is, since they all can special summon a Runick monster, they're basically just a free tutor to get to Fountain, which is like basically your win condition. So Flashing Fire was played in multiple copies. Destruction, which pops spells and traps, is like fine. The thing is, you care more about monsters than spells and traps because it's not as common. So you may like play like 1 or 2 copies of this, but you probably sideboard it, if anything, just against the spell or trap heavy decks because it's a very monster heavy game. Dispelling, I don't think really saw a ton of play unless they wanted more Runick cards to special summon Runick guys from the extra deck. Because it's kind of like a whatever effect. Discarding a random card isn't like particularly good, just because it puts something in the graveyard, and a lot of decks are graveyard reliant. Freezing Curses saw play at maximum copies because it negates effects of monsters, and that's very good in our game. Slumber, which is the one that protects from battle or card effect. You might play like 1 of this, but it's for the most part not particularly good. Golden Droplet, I don't think ever saw play unless they really wanted more names to summon Runick monsters from the extra deck, but you already have like 20 without Droplet that you would never play this card otherwise. And then Smiting Storm also actually did see some play because since mill is the objective for a lot of these decks, this is theoretically the card that gets you the most mill value, right? Because you're going to be able to hit like 6, 7, 8, 9 cards, whatever. Allure sometimes saw play, but for the most part, like you said, it was kind of unnecessary because your deck already just milled so much anyway, and it's basically a do-nothing card. So that's something that in Yu-Gi-Oh! We don't really like to see. Like I said, maybe the purest of the mill decks would play this, but for the most part, people kind of just skipped on Allure. And that brings us to Fountain. Fountain is fucking crazy. It is a draw 3 on both players' turns in a perfect world. And it's not hard because since you can activate the runic spells from your hand, they're insulated from your opponent, like destroying them with their card effects and such, because there's not a lot of hand destruction in our game. So they can just sit with a grip full of cards, and then when something comes up that they don't like, they can flashing fire it to destroy it. They can freezing curses it to negate it. They can summon a monster, like if they have to like defend themselves or whatever. It's not hard for them to get 3 cards in the graveyard. Runick Fountain shuffles them back. You draw 3 more. It also puts them on the bottom, so you're not guaranteed to draw the same ones, which is nice because they all have a once per turn clause. And this card is absolutely batshit crazy. Before we get to that, we'll go back to the fusion monsters here. Hugin is also nuts just because it gets to Fountain, and that's like your main win condition. Because like you actually pointed out, the biggest problem with this deck is without Fountain, you just run out of gas, and that's like the typical control player issue. So having Hugin basically at all times to get your Fountain is very important. And so even like I said, if you limit it, or like you said, if you limited the Fountain to 1, Hugin can still fetch it, right? Whereas if you ban Hugin, for instance, now all of a sudden you either have to hard draw it or search it off of the tip because there's no other way to access it. But Hugin is a staple 3-of in these decks just because it is just basically the best of the fusion monsters. Munin's okay. If you're not playing the Allure, then like you don't have a target to search for it. We have our time rules in Yu-Gi-Oh! Where if you go into time, whoever has the most life points wins at the end of the phase. So Munin can be used for degenerate purposes, like you go into game 3 with 60 seconds left, you just play a Runick spell, summon Munin, gain 1,000 life points in the end phase, the time calls in the round, you win the round. So that's kind of like a sketchy part of this card, but you still play it in the extra deck. Gary's also important.
Extra deck life gain is a win con.
Correct.
So what
yes.
you're telling me.
It is.
Okay,
it is.
Cool.
Yep.
Nice.
Gary is also important just because it can get back your Fountain on summon, which is very nice in case Fountain gets destroyed or anything like that, although you have plenty of ways to do that. And it's also just removal. It's also good because it's level 4. There's like some level 4s you could like play in an extra deck that it's like, oh, like I want that for the level to synchro summon or Xyz summon or something like that. Frecky, if you actually do have your battle phase and you're trying to win by battle, like you could play Frecky, but it's fine just because it can get you a Runick quick play back if it dies. So like that's not the worst. Like if you have a Tip in the graveyard, then Tip can search you Fountain if your Fountain got destroyed. So like there's some application for Frecky. I don't know why it has 2,000 attack. You're never fucking attacking with this card. I think I've gotten attacked by this card like once my whole life, and it didn't even matter. And then Sleipnir's fine. It's a unique form of removal in terms of the fact that like banishes till the end phase. And it does target, but it doesn't destroy. So if they have like a thing on the field of protection from like destruction, you can banish it to get out of the way. But you're never going to battle with this deck, so I don't know why you'd ever fucking do that. The main reason people played Sleipnir is because of its level. You're very close with this one. So it's a level 9, which is very nice because if you're playing this in tandem with other decks with level 1 tuners can then synchro into a level 10 monster, and the level 10 synchro pool is very good. They recently just banned the best level 10 synchro monster in the game, and that was something that these decks would sometimes play just to have like another wall of insulation for whatever their strategy is. So that's why I said you were probably never going to get this one because you have to use other extra deck mechanics.
You're so right. I was never.
I was going to be impressed if you got that, if you figured that one out. Yeah, because I didn't show you any context. But yeah, the best level, there's a lot of good level 10 synchros. And again, for like Jerry and Frecky, they have particular levels that for certain combinations of decks, that the levels on these cards matter to summon certain monsters to like do whatever that deck is trying to do. But you were correct, and Runick Fountain was the only card in this deck that got hit. If you can believe it, all they've done to it is semi-limit it. That is it. They put it from 3 copies to 2, because apparently they thought 3 was too good.
What?
Yep.
I didn't even know semi-limiting was a thing.
We unfortunately also wish it wasn't a thing, but it is a thing.
What the hell is going on?
I'm a huge advocate that list should not exist, and every card on there should either be limited or unlimited, but for whatever reason, on the most recent ban list, they semi-limited like 10 cards, and that infuriated me.
Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, what do you know? Broken card is broken. Crazy how that happens. Insane.
It's just funny, though, that they semi-limited it. I think in the Asian territories, it's limited to 1, which I think is a lot more impactful, because now it's like, okay, if your first one and only one dies, you need to use, like, Gary to get it back. So it's a lot more temperamental in that way. But you're correct. Like, if the Fountain is not on the... Like, the main... If you're playing against this deck, it's like priority number 1 is get Fountain off the field. Because if they don't have Fountain, they can't use the stuff from hand, A. But B, they're not drawing 3 cards every fucking turn, which is just nuts in our game.
And how do they do it? How do you get the Fountain off the field? It's just so protected.
So there's plenty of ways. So Hugin, for instance, only protects from destruction by card effect. So, for instance, there's a card... I'll just quickly show it to you, just since I'm here, because I don't think I would ever show you this card in any other context, to be honest. Just give this card a quick read.
Cosmic Cyclone, pay 1,000 life points. Then target 1 spell or trap and banish it. Oh. Yep.
So this doesn't destroy, this
bang, bang.
banishes. Yeah, so this is a way that you can work around the destruction effect, protection effect of Hugin. I think Munin protects from targeting. Yeah, it says when you affect that target to Runick card. So if you had Munin out, Munin can protect from Cosmic Cyclone, but the extra monster zone, you can only have 1 monster. So Hugin's typically what's there because it gets you the Fountain in the first place. And so Hugin wouldn't protect from a card like Cosmic Cyclone, for instance. So we have specific cards you can use that aren't destruction cards to get rid of the fountain. And banishing it's very good because then it's really hard to get back in any capacity. So
I have card game thoughts / complaints.
Okay, let's hear
because we have this in Magic too. We have abilities like indestructible, and when you're a new player and you read indestructible, you're like, oh my god, finally my awesome card doesn't just get killed, and then you like actually
and then you just have to exile it, and then it's like
you spend you spend your $40 on your shiny mythic and you put it in your deck and you get it on the field for the first time and they're like, oh, I didn't destroy it, I exiled it, and you're like, I hate my life. I hate my life right now so much. And it is nice that it adds like those layers to the game, but something I should be remembering to ask when we play these games is very much like, okay, how much does that line actually matter? How many ways are there to still get past that in a cheeky way?
I would say under most circumstances, it does its job. Like, people would sideboard Cosmic Cyclone against Runick specifically to just take out Fountain. It wouldn't be something you would main deck unless everyone's playing fucking Runick. And from a competitive perspective, Runick has had some decent success. It really just depends on like which hybrid of the build you're playing. The stun version has been like recently the most popular way to play this deck because like the other variants are just like not as good. But historically, it's actually had a lot of success. This archetype's actually rather new. It was only printed in 2022. So it's actually done quite well in its short time in the game. And people love that it's a very unique way to play Yu-Gi-Oh! This is like more of a Magic deck, I think a lot of people would say, than a Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck. But it's a lot of people like it.
You might get me to play
Oh, great. He's going to play Runick Stun, ladies and gentlemen. We're screwed.
There is also a chance you get another React video out of me.
That's true. That's very true.
Oh, very cool.
So what do you think?
Busted cards, busted. It was going through my head, like looking at the art and just the general vibe of the card and everything like that of Runick Fountain while you were talking about it. It snapped in my head that this is Rhystic Study. It's just Rhystic Study. You just draw 3 cards a turn on everyone's turn. And yeah, I don't know. It looks and feels right now like Rhystic Study to me. If you put up the art from Enchanting Tales, it's like basically it's the same picture with a demon versus like a waifu, but it's like, it's Rhystic Study.
So guys, that's going to wrap it up for another video. I really hope you all enjoyed. Let's go ahead and shout out the patrons for all their continued support. So shouts to Shadow1317, Tim00x3, MBT Play Madolce, Moto, Cameron L. Smith, The Synchro Guy, Pony Stark, Little Fayley, Dan the Man Hoban, Draconic, Brian Dancer of Class 7, Dylan Rare Hunter, JW11860, Flannel Daddy, literally all of the guinea pigs, Cheeks McLapperty, MBT canceled by community soon, canceled by all committee soon, canceled by all players soon, Wonder Waffle, Daniel Howell, MBT and Nimnim's One Boxer Brief Fueled Knight of Passion, Electrician of the Ice Barrier, The Nova 129, Chris Adams, and Lillamancy. Thank you all again so much for watching, and we will see you next time.